Hello and good morning. I wanted to talk to you today about compensatory exercise and what that means, and if you are engaging in it and what to do instead. So I'm going to start with my own personal experience. I would say for the first 10 years or so of exercising, I saw exercise as a transactional activity, and it was directly related to what I was eating. So I used exercise as a way to either pay for the food I had eaten in the past or to earn my food that I wanted to have in the future. Now, this isn't to say that there weren't many positive aspects of exercise in my life during that time. I did meet a lot of wonderful people. I was a trainer during a lot of that time and teaching classes, and I really enjoyed that. There's a lot of benefits from exercising that have nothing to do with weight loss or the way that we look. And I was reaping a lot of those benefits as well. So I don't want you to think about this in a black and white way, right? It's complicated and it's nuanced, but the common thread running through it really was about making sure that, calories in, calories out. And when I didn't exercise, I would become very uncomfortable, emotionally, physically. And I, of course, thought that was because I just loved exercise so much, right? And that was why I wanted to work out. But I realize now, looking back, that I was compelled to exercise because not exercising would make me feel guilty. So that became confused in my mind. I'm like, oh, I just love exercise, so I exercise all the time. But really, it was that if I didn't exercise, I just couldn't be comfortable in my body or in my own brain. And unfortunately, a lot of fitness professionals become fitness professionals because they can work out all the time. And it's an environment in which disordered behavior is accepted and encouraged, and no one's really gonna ask any questions because, they just love fitness, they work in fitness, right? And I was absolutely caught up in that. Working at a gym made it so that my disordered behavior would be accepted and praised, and I wouldn't have to address it. So looking at fitness professionals, fitness influencers can be detrimental because, once again, it's going outside of ourselves to figure out what we need. And we can only figure out what we need and what is best for us by looking inside. So an important thing to realize that is going to just be like, what? Is compensatory exercise is a very big indication of disordered eating. And yet, we are encouraged to do compensatory exercise by the medical establishment, by, basically all media that's telling us how to be healthy and how to be fit is telling us that compensatory exercise is healthy. So how can something be at the same time a symptom of a very dangerous disorder, but also be recommended to the general population as something that's healthy and good? Here are some signs of compensatory exercise behavior. Working out through an illness or an injury, refusing to take time off to heal. Finding time to exercise no matter what the cost, whether that cost is time or relationships or skipping something important because you just feel like you have to get in your workout. Feeling tremendous guilt or shame if for some reason you can't get your workout in. Not taking any rest or recovery days, or being very hesitant or uncomfortable during days that you are trying to rest, right? You got ants in your pants and you just don't feel right. Working out for hours at a time or going to the gym multiple times a day. Again, if you're a professional athlete, that might be part of your program. For an average person, it is not. Exercising in secret, right? Maybe not feeling comfortable telling people that you're going to the gym again, or exercising in unsafe conditions, like if it's a thundering and lightning outside, but you still go out for your run. We've talked about this one at length already, but compensating for food intake, right? So feeling like if you eat, you have to then exercise in order to make up for the food you've had. Skipping activities because they're not intense workouts enough for you. So maybe you get asked to go for a hike and you're like, well, that's not enough exercise for me. I'm not going to waste my time. And so you skip doing that activity with a friend or family member. And conversely, doing things that you don't really enjoy because you feel like it's a good workout. Defining your self-worth based on your fitness abilities or your perceived level of fitness. Constantly having that calories in, calories out calculator going on in your head all the time throughout your day. Not only is it just not accurate, right? That's just not really how our bodies work. It's so much more complex, but it's also a sign of compensatory exercise and disordered exercise behavior. Using exercise as your primary coping skill for processing or dealing with uncomfortable feelings, right? We want a variety of tools in our toolbox, not just exercise. And finally, feeling defensive if somebody does bring up the fact that, maybe you work out all the time or you're like constantly at the gym and somebody, mentions that and you feel really defensive about that. That is also a red flag. I really encourage you not to get black and white thinking around the lists that I just gave you, okay? This is food for thought, something to chew on, something to just frame, right? Start to kind of think about your own behavior and say, right? Only you know if this is something you're struggling with. Trust yourself, right? You know in your heart if this is something that you're struggling with. So tomorrow, I've taken up a lot of your time today with this, but tomorrow I will be talking about some action steps around this. How can we be approaching fitness in a way, approaching exercise in a way that is going to be beneficial physically, emotionally, and bring us balance in our life, right? How can exercise be one of many healthy habits in our life and not the thing, right? The main pillar that we are holding up our worth, to every single day. Please, if you feel comfortable, share your experience with me. I relate to every single thing on that list. And although I am largely on the other side, these thoughts still pop into my head. And I'll be sharing more about what that sounds like in my own mind and what I have done to bring joy into my movement and to make sure I am not exercising in a compensatory fashion. So I'm going to see you tomorrow.